the late afternoon because of the change of time, and a lot of our veterans are getting older. They don't like to drive at night, and so that's what we're doing. It's going to be it's a nice pot roast dinner, and it's free. It's free for veterans.
Great.
And if they bring a guest, it's $15 for the guest. But it should be a good day. We have the missing man table, and we do, a regular ceremony. But then it's going to be followed by a USO show by the Fancy Follies. We did this last year, and they really seemed to like it. So it's going to be a repeat. So all you have to do is call 766-3734 and reserve your place. We just need to know how much pot roast.
Right.
But usually we have the Vietnam vets, and we have about 4 or 5 tables of them. And then, so usually we have a big crowd of people. And come on down.
And what's the date on that again?
November 8th, Friday, from 2 to 5.
All right. And free for the vets.
It is free for the. It's always
That's
free
excellent.
for the vets.
That's
Always free
fantastic.
for the vets.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
You all set for Halloween?
I am.
Yeah?
I am. We don't get lots of kids.
No?
We don't. And I don't know why. We don't have the big dogs anymore. We just have little Nellie Sunshine. But we do have a new neighbor with a young boy.
Okay.
About 4 years old. And so he's ready. So he's ready.
He's coming around?
Yeah, every time he sees me, trick or treat, I say, Not yet.
It's coming, but okay.
It's coming, yeah. And you know what? Wednesday, we're having an adult Halloween party down at the senior center with a DJ and costumes and prizes and such. So that's going to be 4 to 7 on Wednesday. And on the actual Halloween day itself, we have the Harris School kids coming down.
Oh, again.
The
that's
third
good.
graders,
So they'll be in costume, I hope?
Well, some of them don't have costumes, so
Oh,
what
okay.
we've done is, well, first of all, they're going to come and they're going to trick or treat. We have candy on all the tables of the seniors, and they'll trick or treat at the tables. They get lots of candy.
Sure.
But then this year we're having a face painter for them
Oh, all right.
because lots of them don't have costumes,
All right.
I feel so. This year, I think they're going to get a kick out of it. That's a surprise for them.
Oh, they don't know
Don't
what's
tell.
happening.
Don't tell.
Don't tell the
But
kids.
don't tell the kids. And that United Healthcare is By the way, United Healthcare is sponsoring the Veterans Dinner as well,
All right,
as
great.
well, and the kids' Halloween party. So that should be fun. And then I don't know how many trick or treaters we'll get, but I always get candy that Dave likes.
Of course.
Not Dave Richards, Dave
No.
Tebow.
You always get what you like.
Yes, exactly. Reese's and
Yeah.
I try not to get the candy that I like.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah, because then I'm too tempted. But yeah, so
I was-
and it's going to be a beautiful day.
And I went to. Oh, yes, it is. And I went different this year because I'm usually with the Snickers and the Reese's. And
Yeah, I like Snickers.
I went, but I saw this in the store. And I went, hey, there's I don't normally buy this. Baby Ruth's candy bars.
Baby
are
Ruth's,
so
yes,
delicious
yes,
as well.
they are. Yeah.
And Nestle Crunch too, just in case we.
I
need
like Nestle Crunch. Yeah,
So.
I do.
All right. Other things going on. Just want to make you aware of that, and we get this notice late yesterday. Landmark Medical Center is having free breast cancer screening for uninsured women, age 40 and over. No documentation or insurance required. Just come on in.
That's excellent.
So it takes place on Halloween, this Halloween, Thursday, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Women's Imaging Center at Landmark Medical Center, 115 Cass Avenue, because everyone deserves access to life-saving screenings. They are asking you to register, so it's 401-769-4100, extension 2450. 769-4100, extension 2450. Free breast cancer screening for uninsured women age 40 and over.
Wonderful.
And this Thursday,
Very
11
generous,
to 4
yeah.
at Landmark Medical Center. So yeah, that's great that the Landmark is doing that for the women in the area. All right, let's see other things going on. Let's see. The good news is, Linda. I know I got the story here somewhere. Thunder Mist Healthcare stays open.
Yes, I saw Maria was able to get the grants to keep it going through the year. Yeah.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Okay, we're allowed to. We're staying open, and I said, yeah, but for how long? Is it? And you see, it's just to the end, of the
Well,
year.
it looks as though that's the piece that I saw in the news was that she was able to secure grants, federal and state grants, to carry them through the year, and that could give them time to strategize,
Yeah.
the plan and make a plan for going forward. So, good for Maria,
Well, okay.
and good good for Thunder Mist, and good for everyone in Woonsocket.
that uses them. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's it's for the entire state. It stays open. Province, Warwick, West Warwick.
Exactly,
Woonsocket.
because they have satellites. Yes, yeah, they're
So they all stay open.
they all stay open. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
all right, good news at least for the next 2 months,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens in
Yeah.
the new year. But glad to see.
I don't know if it's the new year or the fiscal year.
Oh, their fiscal year, yeah.
It just said through the year,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but it is good news.
good news
Very
that
good
it
news.
stays open.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
All right, we got a story on the front page of today's Call and Times newspaper. After a vehicle chase, Woonsocket police captured 2 people who allegedly fled an Arnold Street bar after dispatch received a report that these patrons displayed a firearm in the establishment.
Oh my.
So yeah, hey,
Yay.
look what I got, kind of thing.
Yay,
So.
yay.
Now, first of all, one of the people arrested, his name is Dalen Barr, Barr. He's charged with possession of a handgun without a license, possession of an unlawful ammunition magazine, and obstructing police. But he's also only 18.
What was
Why
he
is he
doing
at-
in
why
the
is he at
bar?
the bar?
Why is he at the bar?
Why was he let in?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So those are the things that make you go, Now maybe maybe he wasn't drinking. Okay, but still, shouldn't be in there. The other person, Taylor Tempest, 22. He was arrested for reckless driving and other offenses against the public safety and obstructing police. There was a third person in the car, a 15-year-old boy that just happened to be in the car they were in. He was not charged with anything.
And he was at the bar too.
Well, he wasn't in the bar, though.
Oh,
he
he
was
just in the car. Okay.
At least that's what the police have determined.
All right.
That he was just in the car.
In the
So
car.
he's just a passenger, so he wasn't charged with any offense.
Right.
And they just say the weapon was in Barr's possession, citing the manner in which it appeared to have been nearly placed on a tarp within easy reach of his passenger seat. So
Wow.
Dave Richards has joined us at the coffee and table. Good morning
I
to you there,
have.
Dave.
Hi.
So we were just questioning what's the 18-year-old doing at the bar in the first place?
Yeah.
Brandishing a handgun,
Yeah,
according
but
to the report.
well, that's right.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have been in the bar in the first place.
He may have gone in to see somebody and threatened somebody. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who was in the bar? Mm-hmm. One's imagination can just
Oh, it just
spin
runs
all
wild.
over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But the police will only report the facts, not
Right.
the assumptions.
It was a 9mm handgun. It was equipped with a 15-round ammunition clip.
Which is an extra number.
Charge?
It's well, yeah, it is, because correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's a 9-bullet gun usually with a regular magazine, but a 15 magazine is an extra capacity magazine, and those have been made illegal by our illustrious legislature.
Yeah. They are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing they got them. That young man. 'cause
Well, yeah,
you don't know what would
and
have
good that
happened.
the patrons reported that hey, someone's showing
Oh,
a gun
yeah.
inside the
Patrons,
bar.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so let's take care of this. And yeah, when you go into, if it's just a bar, and it's the New Level Bar and Lounge, by the way, there's no one at the door checking IDs. It's probably just
That would be a
it would
nightclub, not a bar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is how the 18-year-old gets in.
Yeah.
And so the bartender will check IDs if they order a drink, but nothing about alcohol in the charges that they were drinking too. So that's good. And the bar isn't in trouble either. So
No, they're not.
No,
And they reported it. So I
They
mean,
report.
my
Yeah,
goodness,
give them
yeah.
credit for reporting. it.
Well,
So-
that- yeah.
Yeah.
I may be out of date in my understanding of the laws regarding this, but I don't think you have to be. This is not like casinos, where you have to, be over 18 to be in a casino. But I think that you could walk into a bar and don't sit at the bar and sit someplace else. I know the law used to be this way. So long as they didn't serve you, you could be there if you were supervised by someone who was of lawful age. I know that happened with me when I was much younger. And back in the 60s, that was the law. It was completely correct. I would sit in the booth, and over at my relative would be at the bar. and they would serve my relative, and they usually bring me a soda or something, But and there was nothing wrong about that. I don't know if they've changed the laws so that that's wrong now.
I'm not sure. Now, with the casinos, it's okay to be underage in the casino as long as you don't walk on the casino floor.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they do that at Bally's. If you just want to go and go to one of the restaurants there, it seems to me you have to walk on the casino floor to get to the restaurant.
Well, it's a matter of state law, because in Las Vegas, let's face it, they won't let you play, but you can't get to the front desk at the hotel without walking through a gaming area. In any of the well, no, there is one hotel. Well, it's not really a hotel; it's a motel that I know of in Las Vegas, where you could conceivably walk in one of the many doors that you could enter and go straight to the desk without entering a gaming area.
Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun are good at that, separating the gaming floor from the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so you can walk around the casino without walking onto the floor, and you can get to the shops and the restaurants there without going on the gaming floor. But I'm trying to pick, and it's been a while. It's been over a year since I've been to Bally's. And it always seems to me that you have to walk on the casino floor in order to get to the to the food area.
I think you're well. It depends on your. Yeah, the north and basically there's the north and the south entrance, and there's a few auxiliary entrances. You could get to. It's not a main entrance, but it is an entrance and exit. You could get to the event center without going through a gaming floor. You go right by one.
The event center is different. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But okay, we're going to take our first break here in the Coffee and program. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. This portion of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Carew Investment Group.
Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, call us at 765-8880. Integrity, trust, service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Woonsocket City Councilor Dan Gendron has served Woonsocket well for years. When Woonsocket needed to replace an antiquated water plant for clean, safe drinking water, Dan did his part to see our new water treatment plant built and become the envy of the state. As council president, Dan saw his duty and did it, working as our mayor when the office was vacant and refusing to take the salary. Later, seeing a vacancy on the council, Dan won the special election to fill the vacant council seat. Now, with 5 of the 7 city councilors not running for re-election, Dan knows Woonsocket will need someone of his experience, dedication, and love of his city to stay on the city council. Whenever he's seen the need, Dan Gendron has stepped up and done what Woonsocket needed to have done. Now it's your turn. Vote for Dan Gendron for City Council.
Paid for by friends of Daniel M. Gendron.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow, and Dave Richards is here as well. And
I didn't sit down.
You look like you're
No, but I
sitting down.
watched.
Well,
I'm
from the
talking about
outside.
I'm talking about what we were talking about during the break.
Oh,
I watched and I wanted to see how they taught.
how to teach people how to play poker?
Well,
there's
it
a lot
was.
to know.
There's so many games of poker. This is the
Yeah.
game we play here, and this is how we do it.
Okay. And it's,
They
they
didn't
keep
teach
track,
you how to win. They just
Well,
said,
right.
"This is the game we play here, and this is how we do it."
but you got to know what beats what.
Well, you got to know that, and that's what
flush
they were
beats a
teaching.
straight and things like
Yeah.
that. And if you don't know that, you're going to play your cards wrong. So, all right. So boy, something's going on down at the airport. We had the story this morning. The Rhode Island Airport Corporation has begun the process of terminating a fire lieutenant accused of gross misconduct. And I remember seeing the headline. I'm like, gee, I wonder what the gross misconduct is. And now, allegedly, this man, Stephen Parent, knowingly and willfully engaged in behavior to sabotage airport operations by contacting prospective employees and discouraging them from working at the airport. I'm like,
Yeah, you don't want to
wow.
work here.
Yeah, well, it's lousy here.
Yeah, you don't want to work here.
Imagine doing that.
And he did it enough times, and enough people decided not to work there.
Yeah,
That
why
he
had
got
you working
caught.
it? Yeah, I wonder if people named him. Well, this guy Steve told me it's lousy to work
That's
there.
right, yeah.
So, geez.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah,
So they're hired, and he talks them out of coming to work there, and they change their mind, go work someplace else. And and according to the charges, Linda, it's because he wanted to work the overtime because they were understaffed. And according to the news story we read this morning, last year he made $52,000 in overtime
so that's on top of what his salary.
on top of his salary.
So it doesn't say what his salary
Yeah.
is. So I'd like to know what the whole thing.
So he didn't want to
came
see
to.
them fully staffed.
No,
he
I
wanted to
like
work
this.
the
Wanted
overtime.
overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look how much money I'm making.
Yeah.
So wow. The airport says because of this, the department was at risk of not meeting the safety requirements that are in place to safeguard Rhode Islanders and the traveling public. Jeez. So
And
Yeah.
what was his job?
he's a fire lieutenant.
fire lieutenant. That's a big job. That's an important job.
That's an important job down
That's
there
a
at
very
the
important
airport.
job. Wow.
Not that fires break out a lot
No,
at the
but-
airport or on the airplanes, but you want them there in case something does.
They got to be so ready.
They need
at,
to
at,
be-
a, at a moment's notice.
they
Yeah.
need to be ready and know what to do.
Yeah. So
Right.
wow, that's
Wow, that's a big
this
job.
this is not good.
Wow.
Do you think if he's found guilty, he's probably going to face a substantial fine? So that $50,000 that he made in overtime, he may have to pay
Yeah.
it all back.
That's possible.
And I'm like, wow,
It
that's,
depends on the judge and
Yeah.
the laws. Yeah.
So he hasn't been found guilty yet. But they're in the process.
beginning the
they're
process.
they're just terminating him already. Although
Yeah.
we're not suing him or anything like that.
No, they're just
I'm sorry.
they're firing.
We want to
him.
get rid of him.
Yeah, they're firing him.
So we gotta, it's unions and things like that, and go through the right channels
Exactly.
to start
Yeah.
that up. So like, wow, okay.
Well, they must have the goods on them, otherwise they wouldn't have
Yes.
gone this far.
I would say so too. So
Or at least what they feel is the goods.
the goods.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So not that this doesn't affect you guys, but
Us guys?
yous guys, yous do,
Oh, okay.
because you don't live in
The
Massachusetts.
plural vernacular.
You don't live in Massachusetts, but one of our big questions on November 5th in Mass is whether or not to get rid of the MCAS test as a
Yeah.
graduation requirement.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's really it's split 50-50. Now, from what if you want to believe what the teachers union is putting out, they say that the teachers don't want it. They want to get rid of it.
They want to get rid of it.
They want to do
Yeah.
their own way, and I can see their point.
Yeah.
Because I went through it with my two kids, and it's basically we teach the test
Teach.
every single year.
Yeah.
They teach the test, and they want to get away from that. And then but then on the other side they say, but we want a uniform, statewide bar to hit for the students to hit in order to graduate. So I can see both sides of the issue,
Yeah.
but I'm for getting rid of it as a graduation requirement.
Yeah, I could go either way. As you said,
Yeah.
both ways if you think about it. One of the things, though, because they're trying to encourage everybody to vote to remove it, and the teachers are saying so that way we could teach to each individual need, and I don't see how that can happen if you've got how many kids in the room, giving each student individually attention to for one
Yeah.
thing or whatever. That's kind of hard to do. And then the other part of me wants to make sure that when they graduate, you have a standard.
that
to
everybody should hit.
graduate.
Yeah.
And in your life, you're going to be taking tests for lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe it's not a written test, but it's an interview, or or something going forward. In college, you're going to take lots of tests. If you're going off to college, you're going to take lots and lots of tests. And I mean, like for instance, if you're going into nursing, you're going to have, the content that you have throughout your course of study.
Yeah.
And then you have to take state boards. So
Sure.
it, they say their teaching only teaches them to the way it is now, only how to do well on a test, and not what does it serve them going forward,
Okay.
But there is a standard, and
Yeah.
there's a standard you want to meet to graduate.
So on election night, just take a look at what's going on. This is question number
Yeah.
2, I think, in
Yeah.
Massachusetts. Just see where that one's going. The other, I don't know if it's a controversial one. Maybe it is to me, but they want to make psychedelic drugs
Yes, I saw
legal
that
in
one too, yeah,
Massachusetts,
yeah.
and it's a last poll. It was way out in front that it will be approved.
Really?
It was like 67 to 33.
They're trying
like,
to improve the
wow.
level of crazy among the populace.
It's got to do something to do with medical purposes. Well,
that's what they said about marijuana.
That's how it
Yeah.
starts.
Oh yeah, just medical. All these people are suffering.
Yeah, that's right. Let's
Right.
make it recreational is next.
So all these people are crazy. So if we give them psychedelic drugs, there'll be a reason for it. You can't just have them be crazy for no good reason.
but watch, because I think it's gonna be.
You think it's going to pass?
I think it's gonna pass.
That's interesting that you have something like a question like that, and then you have the MCAS. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. The others are not as controversial.
No, I know, but it's on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're crazy in Massachusetts. But we only have 5 questions to
maybe
worry
if
about.
it's okay for the psychedelic drugs, then
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care
like-
whether they take the MCAS or not. Right.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the good news out of Massachusetts is the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree
You
in New York
got-
City
yes,
is
yes,
coming from
yes,
Massachusetts,
yes.
which actually is surprising.
Yeah.
I always thought they went up into
Yeah.
Vermont or New Hampshire or Maine
Yeah.
to find it, the tree that they like. But this
Yeah.
one's coming from the Berkshires.
Saw it. Yeah.
So
West Stockbridge, did I see?
Yes.
They showed a photo of it. It's a magnificent tree.
70
I was
foot
in
tall.
New York one time at Rockefeller Center when the tree came in.
Yeah.
It wasn't lit,
Lit
but
yet.
the tree came in on the big trailer. Very, very impressive to see.
On one truck or
One truck,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
But
fits,
those
okay.
huge, it was really something to
This
see.
shows you where my head's at. I'm more interested in knowing how they get it there.
well, you put it on the truck and drive it.
Put it
right?
on the truck and drive it.
Yeah.
Right.
Tie it down. How else are they going to get it there?
Well, it's tough enough getting a 45 or 53-foot truck through the streets of Manhattan. Now they've got to get South Central Manhattan, and they've got to get it there. And the tree itself is 75 feet long.
Yeah. Well, they probably
You
have
know,
police escort, get you through the streets a little easier.
I know there are trucks that do this, but how do you take the turns?
I don't know.
So the route would be
Oh, yeah.
a big curiosity
Yeah.
for me. What route are you going to
Take it.
take
Right, exactly.
that you don't have to do a 90-degree turn in city streets?
No, you're right. But I'll tell you, just to see it.
That's the story behind the story.
Yeah, but to see it there, and it
That's
was like,
impressive,
whoa.
huh?
We the choir went to sing at St.
Okay.
Patrick's Cathedral, and we were at Rockefeller Center. Yeah.
So Dave read in the story that the tree is actually donated by a family that owns the land.
Right.
So I wonder if that's a competition amongst Christmas tree farms to get your tree at Rockefeller Center.
Well,
And that's why they don't pay
I'm
for
sure
it.
there's bragging rights
Well,
at
that's
least.
right. And I'm sure there's a sign
Yeah.
at Rockefeller Center, tree donated by whatever
Yeah.
the family is here in West Stockbridge, Mass. I don't know if that helps them in any
Yeah.
way. People say, "Oh, we should get our tree from them too," kind of thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it must be donated every year.
Well,
It's
it
gotta
it
be a
is,
heavy
yeah.
thing.
But I think this one, they're not all from tree farms, though.
Right. This
I
seemed
think
like
this
it was
one
just
seemed
their
like it was
land.
on their property, and it got just much too big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just much too big. Who needs
it's
a
a big-
75
Maybe
foot
it could
tree
be
in your-
seen from the roadway. And
Yeah, exactly.
One
and I
comment
think,
led to another.
Yeah. And then-
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it must be really
It's a big
know,
Norway spruce.
a Norway spruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So-
the furry
It was
kind with a little
beautiful,
tinge
yeah.
of blue, if I recall.
Yeah. okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
But I'm sure there must be the people out there that say, "Oh, you can't cut. It's a 70-year-old tree. You can't cut it down."
Well, you
It's
know.
70 years old. It's
And you know, I've got a tree like that in my
Yeah.
yard, and it's a Norway maple.
okay.
And it's huge. It's so big. And I believe, you know, my house was built in 1874, and I think that tree was probably built, you know.
Planted, yeah.
Planted at that time. And it had some issues, but I said, you're not cutting it down. So it's all cabled, so it won't hit anything. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Like that tree that's going to Rockefeller, it's beautiful. They showed a picture of it.
Oh, I'm sure it hasn't been cut down yet. They're
It
going to
has
be
not.
cutting
No,
down soon.
it hasn't. But it's beautiful.
How big around is the trunk, I wonder?
It doesn't say.
Got to be bigger than what you can put your arms around if
sure.
it's 75
Yeah.
feet tall.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, you're not. The tree huggers can't get their arms all the way around
No.
it.
Right.
No.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program, and more coming your way. Time of the weather forecast being brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone.
Increasingly cloudy today with a high of 56 degrees and a calm wind. Tonight, patchy fog after midnight, cloudy skies, overnight low of 48, and a 50% chance of some light showers. Wednesday's weather, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high of 72. Thursday, mostly sunny and 80. Friday, sunshine and 73. Saturday, sunshine and 56. Sunday, sunshine and 58. And on Monday, mostly cloudy skies and a high of 62 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we're up to 41 degrees, Linda. It's warming up. We had that low of 34 today. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, this is Gary Smith. Join me for Do You Remember, Tuesday through Friday mornings at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
It's Coffee In on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Dave Richards. Thanks for being there
You're
for
entirely
us.
welcome.
Citizens Bank has announced it's closing some branches, including 4 in Massachusetts. 1 is in Bellingham. And I'm trying to picture where the Citizens Bank is in Bellingham off the top of my head, and I can't quite figure out where it is.
Well, I know that they have one. They have a kiosk on 126. This might be up in North Bellingham near the interstate, not 495.
That's what I was trying to picture inside
Not
where the
far.
Walmart is.
Yeah,
in the
it might
Barnes
be
and Noble
someplace
bookstore.
around there.
One
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
one in there? There's a Bank of America in there.
There
Drive
is?
up. Well, not a branch, but a drive-up
A kiosk?
ATM is there. But and I'm trying.
They've
to
got one in South Bellingham at Crooks Corner,
Yep.
and that's Bank of America.
That's
if
Bank
I
of America,
remember.
too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I'm just thinking, where do you see that green sign? And maybe it's across the street. There's that other plaza
Yeah.
that's across the street from where the Walmart is. Maybe it's in there. It doesn't say. It does. It just says. It doesn't say why they're closing.
Isn't that what Pierre Jewelers is? You know that plaza
That's
there?
Crooks Corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I
no, they're
think-
not there.
They're not there?
No. You got to go up there where 495
Uh,
is.
Dean Bank owns that plaza now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dean
that's
Bank
right,
is
Dean
the
Bank.
bank in that
Oh, that's
place.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
They won't let citizens in?
Well,
Yeah.
would you?
I would not.
There you go.
Citizen says the closures are an adjustment that followed a review of customer patterns, and they remain committed to the branch network. All right, that's a lot of words, and it doesn't really say
Yeah.
much, but
Where we get the most business.
I guess. I mean, the others are, Belmont, Hyde Park, and Burlington, Mass. You think Hyde Park and Belmont, when they're closer to Boston, I think they get business, but oh well, we're not privy to the inside information.
It's not whether they get business. Are they getting enough of the right kind of business?
Business and a lot of loans and things like that.
Yeah.
So-
Well, heaven knows.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to other things. This is just up in Boston. I just bring it up because of what happened. There's a man up there that owns a chain of restaurant called Stash's Pizza, Stash. Stash's Pizza. But the owner was sentenced to spend over 8 years in federal prison. Forced labor violations.
Sure. He would hire immigrants and then intimidate them to and had a hostile workplace, according to the story.
Or attempted to force 6 employees to work for him and comply with excessive workplace demands through physical abuse. Jeez, it's just pizza
Wow. Wow.
and sandwiches.
Sort of thing happened all the time before the labor laws.
He's also accused of threatening to report victims to immigration authorities if they did not comply. I'm calling INS.
Yeah.
If you don't do what I say, if you don't work 80 hours. Wow. He was convicted by a federal jury and has been in custody since his arrest in March of 2023, and now will spend the next 8 years in prison. Doesn't say about whether or not Stash's Pizza stays open or not up there in Boston. So, jeez, I don't know. And down here in Pawtucket, we had an 18-year-old shooting his gun in Pawtucket. Not at anybody, or at least he missed.
Wow.
Shooting incident last night in Pawtucket. Police responded to reports of shots fired around 7 p.m. on Lonsdale Avenue. This led officers to Campbell Terrace, where the suspect surrendered. He's charged with firing in a compact area. There's certain places you can shoot guns,
Yeah.
like MTR Guns and Ammo.
Right.
Perfectly legal to shoot there in their firing range. You just can't go outside and,
Right.
Didn't we have a guy at Cold Spring Park just recently shooting at cans? And he was arrested, and
That might be so. I didn't see the story.
he said he didn't think he was doing anything wrong because it's just target practice.
Yeah.
I don't think
but-
that was a real gun though. That might have been a pellet gun,
Oh my. Oh.
but this is a real gun.
Yeah.
But some people think that way. Well, I'm just shooting at the tree or I don't know
Yeah,
the
but
rock or whatever.
They can ricochet. And,
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good idea.
So
Not
yeah,
a good
it
idea
could
at all.
it could come back and actually come back at them.
Right. Exactly. Not
So
just,
just yeah.
and once again, one would ask, does that 18-year-old have a license to carry, to have a gun? You know, not to carry, but to even have one.
I would think if he didn't have one, that would have been in the story. He's been charged
Yeah,
with
yeah.
firing a gun without a license.
Yeah.
Just he must have one, just because he's just charged with firing in a compact area.
Yeah.
You can't shoot it in the city, unless it's a self-defense kind of thing, and like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or you're not out in Burrville at the Rod and Gun Club, right? Shooting at the skeets. Is that what they call?
Yeah, Addeville East Farm is big for that
Yeah.
in Mapleville.
It's trap shooting.
That's right. Yeah.
I did that. I
Shoot-
tried
yeah?
that. I did.
Any good? Did you hit anything?
I tried it because it's with the shotgun, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dave, my husband, used to be really good at it. But I tried it and I hit it,
You did.
and then I said,
Good for you.
"I'm done."
Check it off the bucket
Yeah,
list.
You have to, you just have to follow through and
Okay.
yeah, but it's quite a sport. That's
Well,
quite a sport.
it's tough. Your object is moving,
Yeah, yeah,
so
Yeah.
you gotta pace it. So,
yeah.
and there's a story. There's an AP story in the call up in Maine. It's hunting season
Yeah.
now, but they're telling people up there to avoid eating some of the deer and turkeys.
Why?
Well, they've got bad chemicals in them from some of the stuff they've been either eating or drinking.
Really?
And it's just certain areas of Maine
Wow.
where it's up so you're not allowed to eat. And that's what they, Maine hunters and people that go there to hunt usually go there to.
That's why yes.
They're there
they
to kill them and dress them
dress 'em
and bring the food home.
bring the venison home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's certain
Wow.
areas of Maine where it's not allowed because the PFAS,
Oh,
that
yes,
chemical,
that
has been
yes.
found in the meat of
Right,
the animals.
because they don't dissolve. They're small particles of
Yeah.
plastic. And
Jeez, one more thing to worry about.
wow.
We did get a note called in, 766-1240. The caller says he believes that the Citizens Bank in Bellingham that's closing is inside the Stop and Shop
Oh,
in Bellingham, right
that's
right on
another-
Pulaski Boulevard.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a mini
okay.
branch thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
'Cause that's a big plaza there.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's other things going on in there as well. So, yeah, that one's going to be closed. That's one I think is going to be closed down, I guess. And you would
How
think
long till Stop and Shop closes, I wonder?
you keep
Right.
saying that.
They-
and
they-
I think they do. Well, they have closed on underperforming stores.
Right.
They just closed, I think, 10 in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and but the others are still up and going fine.
Good.
So, I don't know. It would
It makes you wonder.
have. Does it?
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't show any apparent interest that I saw in operating stores for years, especially after the strike. They just really they didn't show much interest in trying to repair the damage that the strike happened. That happened during the pandemic, and they just ran things. I thought rather badly as a customer, and then all of a sudden they get a wake up call. They shut down a bunch of stores and they say, "Oh, we're nice guys and we're not going to overcharge you anymore." And like that. And so now the big promotion is this is
yeah,
what
we've
we
lowered
used.
our
This
prices
is
now.
what we used to
They've
soak you
lowered it,
for,
yeah.
and this is what we're going to sell it for now.
Yeah.
But my big argument with them always, and forgive me for repeating it, it was all, I don't like the way that they did the loyalty program and tracking everything that you bought and all the rest of this stuff and using you for marketing as, instead of being a customer, you're a victim, treating you in that way where they would just track everything. And if they could afford to sell me 2 pounds of seedless grapes for $2.29, but they charged $2.79 for it unless I gave them the card and joined the club. To me, I thought that was being victimized as opposed to being treated as a valued customer. That was my personal opinion. That's how I felt about it. Denise didn't share my opinion, by the way.
Okay.
And then we still kept going there. But that was my opinion. I kind of resented it. And then all of a sudden now they're saying, oh, you know what we used to soak you for? No, forget all about that. We're going to put that right on the label, what we used to soak you for, this stuff. And now we're going to charge you what we need to do business, which is much less. So you got to come see us and you got to love us. I mean, that's how I interpreted this whole thing that happened 2 weeks ago with them, and they made a big publicity deal out of it. That, oh, we love you. Got to come back to Stop and Shop. Why? It seemed to me that people were getting the message and not going there like they used to, because they didn't feel loved like they used to.
Possibly.
And now, okay, come back. We love you. It seemed a bit disingenuous for me, but that's just me, Joe.
I know. I don't ever worry about being loved by supermarkets.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I don't need to be loved by the
do you
supermarket.
have what I'm looking for?
Yeah. And is it cheaper than the other store?
Is it cheaper than the other store? And are the interactions I have with the employees, are they pleasant enough?
Yeah. I shop where the sales are.
Yeah, okay.
Always have.
Yeah. There you go.
So if they
Good.
have some good sales, I go there.
I still prefer to go to Brigitto's.
And I go to Brigitto's because
Right.
they've
run
been
a
having
top
some very
operation
good.
there.
They've been having some very good sales there, so I go between the two.
Do they have a loyalty program kind of thing
They
going?
do. They do,
do?
though.
Okay.
They do, yeah.
All right.
It's kind of almost accepted now.
Yeah.
That-
And I
yeah.
got to tell you, when you're, and it doesn't cost any, you just sign up. You
Okay.
show your card, you get some very good prices there. Yeah.
Alrighty. I know they're right here in Woonsocket, but the CVS loyalty program one that one bugs me. It just doesn't seem to work in my favor
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Here's-
think the
here's-
Walgreens one is.
Here's your real long receipt, and here's
Yeah.
some coupons to use next time you come here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here now. The next time I'm coming probably won't be for like 2 or 3 weeks,
And that'll
the
be
coupons have
expired.
expired.
I
I'm
hate
like-
those. Yeah.
this is just- they should be. You're right. They should be on there. Either no expiration or 6 months out or something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
but it's not
They're
like that. But
no, they're not.
I don't run the plan over at
Yeah.
CVS, so that's the way it goes. All right, if you happen to be traveling down south, especially in the Bristol area, just be on the lookout. The Mount Hope Bridge is under a 2-week inspection.
2 weeks.
And we'll
yeah.
see how it
Which
goes
means
there.
one lane, 9 to 3 every day.
It's a
Expect
narrow enough lane
delays.
anyway.
Yeah.
A narrow enough bridge as it is. So the bridge, the Rhode Island Turnpike Bridge Authority, will continue through November 11th. Taking a look at the inspections between 9 and 3, like Dave said. When lane closed to traffic, commuters are advised to allow extra time for likely delays. So that's right. You can't. We can't stop them on the bridge. So it's like everybody off the bridge. Okay, now go in this direction. So that's what's going on at the Mount Hope Bridge. All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program and more coming up. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, and MLS number 465956.
Henry's Heroes is doing it again. It's the Henry's Heroes car giveaway. New Englanders helping our veterans and Henry's Auto on Park Avenue, Woonsocket will be giving away 5 gently used and reconditioned cars. The event will take place Saturday, November 23rd at Henry's Auto, 1068 Park Avenue in Woonsocket, in partnership with Henry's Auto. NEHAV, that's New Englanders helping our veterans, is happy to announce the free car raffle for veterans. If you have served our country in any branch of the military, current or retired, and a veteran in need, you are eligible for the car raffle. If you're a caregiver of a veteran, you can also submit an entry on behalf of that veteran. You must show a true need for the vehicle. Please apply only once by November 11th on the NEHAV website. That's New Englanders Helping Our Veterans, or NEHAV.org. Remember, apply to win one of these 5 cars from Henry's Heroes online only at NEHOV.org. Do it by Veterans Day, November 11th.
It's Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow
There's
and
supposed
Dave
to be
Richards.
one more week left on the bypass.
Is it? Well, it looks
I
like the
remember
Jersey
them clearly
barriers are
saying
down.
they will have this fixed by November 1st.
But
And be back to two-way traffic on the bypass.
But last week, if you were coming down Clinton Street, where you're passing by the KFC on the right and Inferno
Yeah.
Audio on your left, you couldn't take a right and go onto the bypass. It was completely blocked off from whatever they were doing down there. So, and then when you come to the traffic circle, now let's say you're coming from Vernon Street, the Jersey barriers are gone, but cones are set up, so you still can't take a right to go on. So maybe that must mean they must be closer.
Well, the announced time for completion was November 1st. That's this Friday.
Notes have been called in. According to the Providence caller says that according to the Providence Journal, Aldi's supermarket, right over here in North Smithfield, has offered a $49 package for Thanksgiving that can feed up to 10 people. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's very good.
Wonder how big the turkey is.
Yeah, that's how big is the turkey.
It does not say. So,
Well, that's not bad.
no.
I heard that on the news.
Yep.
And
Okay.
sounds like a commercial to me, but I heard it on the news.
Yeah, right.
It is, but they also read it in the Providence
Happens a
Journal,
lot
so-
with our news service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Linda, good news. Quarter Pounders will be back on the menu at McDonald's.
And this is another one from our news service that's more like a commercial.
Well, they had an E. coli outbreak.
Yes, with the onions and yeah.
Well, they're not sure. They keep saying,
they
well,
think it was
it might be the onions or it might be the beef. We're not quite sure.
I think a lot of times.
But they stopped they stopped buying onions from this
From that place,
this
yeah.
particular place,
And it all stopped.
and it all stopped. Yeah. So, and I didn't think you could get
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
listeria
Yeah.
from
Oh, definitely
onions.
you
Yeah,
can. Yeah, you
Okay.
can. Yeah.
The
yeah.
turkey is 16 pounds, by the way, at all these.
That's not big enough for me.
Well,
16's not bad.
no, if it's
That's
just
not bad.
2 or 3 of you, that's all. That's all
That's
right.
not enough.
Well, they said it's feeding 10.
Well, then you got to get everything else.
Well,
yeah.
well, I know, but if it's feeding 10 and it's a 16-pound turkey, well, that's basically almost a pound of meat, right?
It's not big enough for my gang.
Well, no, because they're going for more. Yeah, well, I get that, but I mean, it's if everyone's eating in a petite manner, I guess it could happen.
Not on Thanksgiving.
So, but anyway, 75 E. coli cases confirmed from McDonald's
Wow.
in 13 different states.
Yeah.
That's spread out pretty good.
Wow.
And one person died.
Well, yeah.
Direct
it's
result
probably
of
a
it
young
from,
person, an old person, right?
one person in
exactly.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Likely source was the slivered onions or beef patties. Now, don't they use the same beef on the Quarter Pounders that they use on the regular burgers too?
I don't know.
And the
No.
Big Mac? No,
I would-
it's
no?
different. Okay.
Yeah. It's a 4-ounce patty for the Quarter Pounders.
Well, right.
Yeah, and it's
But the cow's not the
it's a s-
same.
you ask the same patties. No, it's a
right.
different size.
Oh,
shaped
different
that-
patty.
that
size,
part I
but
understand.
It's from the same
Right.
source, though.
But is the
It,
hamburger?
it all just comes from cows.
Well,
You're
right.
right.
So okay, we're making.
But they have a 4-ounce patty, which is the
Right.
yeah,
quarter
the quarter
pounder
pounder and the half pounder. Yeah.
before cooking weight.
But
and,
are we-
and they were smaller. I think they were 2.5 or 3-ounce
Yeah.
patties for the regular
Yeah.
burgers.
So I guess okay,
And like a Big Mac would
Cut
have
the
the
burgers.
regular size times 2.
times 2. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna cut quarter pound patties, chop, and then okay, let's make regular patties. And so maybe they don't get mixed together. Okay.
Right.
All right.
But they come from the same cows.
They
Probably
do.
same plant.
But onions are a source of lots of things. People think, in the summertime they say don't leave your egg salad out because it could go
bad.
Oh, sure.
And that's true. It can.
Mayonnaise.
But many times it's the onion.
That's going bad
It's
first.
the onion.
Ah.
Yeah, that can cause problems. Because lots of people put onion in their potato salad.
Okay. All
And
right.
it's the onion.
Yeah, they worry about the eggs. They don't
Not
worry
just
about
the mayo
onions.
and yeah,
I
exactly.
see. All right.
Yeah.
Well, just in case you happen to be out in California over the next couple of days, just in time for Halloween, the public officials in Hollywood remind the public that the silly string law goes into effect October 31st through November 1st.
Right.
Signs are posted up and down Hollywood Boulevard, the Sunset Strip, and other parts of the area that say silly string is prohibited all day. Now, you ask why, Linda.
No, my face just said, why?
Okay. The
Yeah.
product can cause thousands of dollars in property damage to businesses, cars, and famous Hollywood Walk of Fame stars.
Yep.
Oh, we don't-
Sure. There's an acid in it.
Yeah. Now, anyone caught using silly string during these prime Halloween hours
Will be
faces.
stood in the public square and be squirted with silly string.
Now, they should be. That should happen. Faces a not so silly penalty: 6 months in jail
Really?
and a $1,000 fine.
Whoa.
And that's
Pretty-
2 days
pretty-
a year you can't use silly string.
October 31st and November 1st.
Right.
All Hallows
All Saints
Eve,
Day.
All Saints Day. Yeah.
Saints
So.
Day.
And I'm assuming that's all the other silly string and the other similarities to silly string that there are out there. Mm-hmm. If you go down to like a Dollar General or a dollar store,
Yeah.
they don't sell silly string, but they sell something like it, and it's jungle string or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's the exact same thing, but you can't use it in Hollywood. I guess they've had issues in the past years.
Oh, sure.
People must be going crazy with this stuff. It's not too bad. You know, if you ever watch that, you ever see videos of that, silly string is also flammable.
Yeah.
I heard
But
that.
Pretty
is
bad.
that, do people, they use it on
As what?
The propellant
trick or treat?
is encapsulated in
Yeah,
the string.
yeah.
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 Well, they use it to be To be
is
funny.
that the trick?
That's the trick part.
Oh.
Let's cover you in
So
silly
that's-
string.
let's do that. Oh, okay.
And it's
See,
a mess. You gotta try to get it off of you.
guess I
It's-
haven't been doing Halloween lately.
It can stain
Gotta
clothing.
catch up.
I'm sure it can.
Yeah,
So,
I bet.
so it's so bad out in Hollywood that they said, okay,
Wow.
we're not we're not allowing it.
Not
on
having
those
any
2
part
days.
of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Subway's in trouble again. Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
What happened now?
They're being accused of, quote, grossly misleading, unquote, customers over the amount of meat that's in their sandwiches. A proposed class action lawsuit says advertisements for the fast food chain show steak and cheese sandwiches containing 200% more meat than what customers actually receive.
Right.
The lawsuit was filed on Monday in Brooklyn. The woman who's suing is seeking unspecified damages for New Yorkers who bought the sandwiches in the last 3 years. The lawsuit alleges Subway violated the state's consumer protection laws. These are the same people that were in trouble, Subway, when they say their foot long wasn't actually a foot long.
Foot long, yeah.
Came in
yeah.
at what, 10 inches?
Yeah, but I mean, the pictures that they show are not at all.
That's it.
Oh, it looks.
I remember the first
looks
time I ever went to one
packed,
of those,
yeah.
and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, this
FTC
is
should
going to be really
catch
good.
that.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, it's like really.
I noticed the reduction in meat myself. My last sandwich there.
Yeah.
I thought it was all just part of that general creep, and now you're $5 foot long. They're making a big deal yesterday during the football game. It wasn't yesterday, I guess it was the day before. There was a big thing for the, oh my goodness me, a foot long for $6.99. I think the $5 foot long is like really history.
Is it?
So, yeah, well, we can't raise prices, so we make it smaller. Have you noticed buying a half a gallon of ice cream? It's 1.5 quarts.
Shrinkflation, right? Is that the
Right.
buzzword now?
1.5 quarts
Yeah.
for a half gallon of
Yeah.
ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, last time I went to school, it took 4 quarts to make a gallon. That's why
That's
they
still
call
it.
them quarts. It's quarters, right? And then 2 quarts to make a half a gallon, but it's now 1.5
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
quarts
Oh,
to
yeah.
make a half a gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's what's going on in the news, and it's not news to anybody. But yeah, I've noticed that. And so what are you going to do? It costs money to run the place. Everybody wants a raise. Taxes keep going up. Electric rates are skyrocketing. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to get the money from somewhere. Your customers. Did anyone hear Old Time Radio yesterday?
I believe I did. At what part?
The Lum and Abner thing. They had
Yes.
an entire episode which was thinly veiled to explain inflation
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and why someone got a raise. And so now someone else raised their prices. And now someone else needs a raise. And then someone else raised the prices to give the other person the raise. And before you know it,
Just runaway with inflation.
there
That's
you
right.
go, runaway inflation. And we know that that's what's happening now.
All right. Well, you see these people at football games, pro football games, that are at Gillette Stadium as well. Police officers are on the field. And they're basically there to keep the fans from coming onto the field. Well, a Florida
They're
police
watching the
officer
fans.
they watch the fans. That's right. So, but a Florida police officer got injured. He suffered a broken ankle during the last play of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Atlanta Falcon games on Sunday. Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield threw a Hail Mary pass as time expired to the back of the end zone when receiver Raheem Jarrett caught the ball, but he was out of bounds. But then Jarrett landed on the officer who was facing the stands and had his back turned to the game. Didn't know he was coming.
Couldn't protect
And it
himself.
broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Florida Highway Patrol gave thanks to the Atlanta player that immediately checked on the officer after the play. Not the player from Tampa Bay, though.
Right.
He was mad. He was out of bounds.
A
He didn't get the
nearby Atlanta
touchdown.
Falcons player said, "Hey, you
Hey,
all right, guy?"
I should look on.
Hey,
look on that
medic!
guy. Yeah, that's right. And there are plenty of medics on the field, and so, but you see that all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly at football games, and
Right.
their back is turned to the
To the
field of play
game,
at
right.
all
They're-
times.
They're watching. Yeah.
We got to watch the crazies that
Yeah,
are in the crowd
yeah.
to make sure they don't do anything crazy on the field. So,
Right.
and yeah, people are yelling and screaming, and then you
He's
just don't
gonna
know
get-
the play is
He'll get
coming
combat
at you.
pay.
Right.
Well, he's going to be out for a little while, I guess. Doesn't say how long, but
Injured
yeah.
on the line of duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It was probably a detail for him, so his
Yes.
regular job will go undone while
Yeah.
he's recuperating.
Yep. Well, he was probably getting overtime
Well,
for
it's a detail,
for doing
right?
this job
you know.
at
It's
Tampa Bay.
you couldn't afford to have enough police officers to have all the officers that are needed for
Yeah.
details and everything else like that. So you take the officers you do have, and they make extra money on the side during their unassigned hours to work details. It's just the way it works.
Have you seen how many?
That and retired police officers.
Have you seen how many police officers are at Gillette Stadium during a game?
Well, have I seen? No, I see that there's lots of them. I wouldn't know
But
what the
not only-
number is,
not
but I
only-
would not be surprised if there were several dozen police officers.
But not only
there.
are they in the stadium, the massive amounts that are on Route 1.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I was going to say thousands. It's not thousands.
Lots,
But it's
yeah.
hundreds.
Yeah.
There has to
Hundreds
be
of police
hundreds of
officers.
police officers.
Yeah.
Keep with
Working
the flow of
traffic
traffic.
detail?
Working traffic. They also have to watch the parking lots
Mm-hmm.
to make sure everything is okay.
Yeah.
And I remember being there one time a few years ago, and we were tailgating in the parking lot, and my foot was over the line where I was supposed to be standing, and the female cop was yelling at me that I had to get back, and so I pulled my foot back. I literally like 6 inches, maybe 8 inches. Here's okay, yes, and here's not, no.
Rules are rules,
Okay.
Joe. Get with the
Really?
program.
Stand behind the line.
Behind the line.
I didn't move my left foot at all. I was moving my right foot back and forth. Bad, good. Got it. But that was her job. Keep
Yeah.
people behind that
She
line.
got
and
her
then
orders
she's
and
her
you got
orders.
yours.
That's right. So fine. I know where the line is now. So I'll stay behind the line.
Stay behind the line or
while
go
I'm
to
having
jail.
my Budweiser. But yeah, that's.
Oh, there was
that's-
alcohol involved. No wonder she
Well,
was
yes,
strict.
that's right. Yeah. You couldn't be. I don't know. This was state
Can't give a
property.
drunk
this
an
is-
inch, you know.
This is state property. This is the parking lot. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I was not drunk. I was.
And how does she know?
She doesn't know. Is exactly right. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in today.
My pleasure as usual.
All right, Dave, thanks for sticking around as well.
All right, great to be here.
All right, I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a fantastic day.
Stay tuned for Gary and the gang.
They're coming up at 9:30 right here on ON AM and FM.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee, Rhode Island's congressional delegation, and the Office of Energy Resources have awarded $2.75 million in energy efficiency conservation block grants. The funds are being awarded to municipalities to support carbon emission reductions, reduce long-term energy use, and improve